Have you ever noticed how someone's behavior changes the moment they realize they're no longer the center of your attention? It's as if the tables turn overnight, and the person who once seemed indifferent now seems desperate. But here's the thing. This shift isn't about love or a sudden appreciation for you. It's about fear. Fear of losing control, fear of rejection, and fear of the unknown. In this video, we'll dive deep into the psychology behind why she gets desperate when she senses you've lost interest. You'll learn how your silence, boundaries, and focus on self-improvement can create a ripple effect that makes her question everything. More importantly, we'll unpack the truth behind her actions, helping you recognize the difference between genuine affection and fear-driven desperation. This isn't just about relationships. It's about understanding your value and knowing when it's time to walk away or set new boundaries. If you've ever wondered why her behavior changes the moment you pull away, stay tuned, because the answer might surprise you. It's a truth not often spoken but deeply felt. When a woman senses you've pulled back or lost interest, she suddenly gets desperate. This isn't about love or a newfound appreciation for who you are. It's about fear. Fear of losing the attention and validation she's grown accustomed to. 1. She panics. When you pull away. When you're always there, texting first, planning dates, and showing up without fail, she feels secure. Too secure. That security often leads to complacency. She assumes your attention is a given, something she doesn't need to work for. But the moment you stop, the moment you pull back and focus on yourself, her world shifts. Suddenly, she's no longer sure if you'll still be there, and that uncertainty sparks panic. You might notice her texting more, seeking validation, or even acting overly sweet to win you back. Don't mistake this for genuine affection. It's a reaction to the fear of loss, not a realization of your worth. 2. Fear, not love, drives her actions. When desperation sets in, it's not because she's fallen in love all over again. It's because the thought of losing control terrifies her. Fear of rejection or abandonment triggers her actions. She may start behaving in ways that seem affectionate, but in reality they're rooted in insecurity. Her sudden change in behavior is not about you. It's about her need to reclaim the power she feels slipping away. This is why you'll often see her putting in effort only after she notices you've pulled back. It's not love, it's self-preservation. 3. She only values you when she feels she might lose you. When you're always available, she takes your presence for granted. The constant attention, the unwavering effort, it becomes predictable, even expected. But when you shift your focus away from her and onto yourself, the balance changes. She realizes your attention isn't guaranteed, and suddenly, she values it more. This newfound appreciation isn't about your qualities as a person. It's about the fear of losing what she once thought was secure. Her actions to regain your attention are often subconscious, driven by the psychological weight of scarcity. The sad truth? She might never truly value you until she feels the risk of losing you. 4. Your attention is power. Don't give it away freely. Your attention is one of the most valuable things you can offer, but when you give it away too easily, it loses its value. When she knows she can always have you, no effort required, she stops trying. The dynamic shifts when you prioritize your goals, set boundaries, and focus on your life. That's when she starts to notice and panic. When you stop chasing, she has to work harder to get your attention, which forces her to reevaluate how much she values your presence. This doesn't mean you should play games or withhold affection maliciously. It means recognizing the value of your time and energy and ensuring it's reciprocated. 5. Desperation is a sign of fear, not commitment. When she acts desperate, it's not a sign that she's suddenly committed to making things work. It's a sign of insecurity. Desperation comes from fear of losing you, not from a deep, genuine connection. She's trying to regain control, not build a stronger relationship. This is where many men make a mistake. They confuse her sudden effort for genuine affection. Understand this: her actions are about regaining her sense of security, not about a deeper emotional bond. 6. She gets comfortable when you're always available. At the start of a relationship, both partners put in effort. But over time, if she senses she doesn't need to work to keep you, she becomes complacent. This leads to a lack of effort on her part because she assumes you'll always be there. The moment you stop being so available, things change. She feels the shift, and her behavior reflects it. Her sudden interest isn't love. It's a reaction to losing the control she thought she had. 7. Your silence speaks louder than words. When you stop responding, texting, or calling, your silence becomes deafening to her. She starts wondering why you've pulled away and questions her own actions. In some cases, she may even overanalyze every interaction, trying to figure out what went wrong. This mental chaos compels her to act, not because she wants to rekindle things, but because she's trying to regain control of the narrative. 8. Her ego takes a hit. A lot of her desperation stems from bruised ego rather than genuine emotions. When she realizes you're no longer interested, it feels like rejection, which can be a hard pill to swallow. In response, she might double her efforts to win you back, not because she wants you, but because she needs to repair her own self-esteem. 9. She tests your boundaries. Desperation might also show up in the form of boundary-testing behaviors. She might try to provoke a reaction or create scenarios where you're forced to respond. This could be anything from emotional appeals to manipulative tactics. Recognize this for what it is: a way to gauge if she still has influence over you. 10. She may attempt to play the victim. When desperation sets in, she might try to shift the narrative to gain your sympathy. This could involve making you feel guilty for pulling away or painting herself as the victim of your disinterest. Stay firm and recognize this as another tactic to reclaim control rather than a genuine attempt to resolve issues. 11. She observes and mimics your behavior. If you've started focusing on self-improvement, hitting the gym, or leveling up in your career, she may suddenly adopt similar habits. This mimicry is often a subconscious way of reconnecting with you. While it might seem flattering, remember that genuine compatibility isn't built on imitation, but on shared values and mutual respect. 12. She tries to use jealousy as a weapon. When she notices you've moved on or are no longer prioritizing her, she may try to make you jealous by appearing interested in others. This is a last-ditch effort to provoke a reaction and reignite your interest. Don't fall for this game. It's a sign of insecurity, not strength. Final thoughts: recognize your value, men. Here's the takeaway: your attention, time, and energy are valuable. Don't give them away freely to someone who doesn't appreciate them. If she's not willing to put in the effort to keep the relationship balanced, it's a sign to reevaluate the dynamic. Set boundaries, live your life with purpose, and prioritize your goals. When you do, you'll notice a shift, not just in how she behaves, but in how you see yourself. Desperation from her doesn't mean love, it means fear. Know the difference and act accordingly. The truth is simple: your time, attention, and energy are incredibly valuable. When someone becomes desperate after you've pulled away, it's rarely a reflection of newfound respect or love. Instead, it's often driven by fear: fear of losing control, fear of rejection, or even a bruised ego. Recognizing this difference is the key to maintaining your self-respect and knowing your worth. Don't be swayed by sudden bursts of affection or manipulative attempts to regain your attention. Instead, focus on your own growth, set firm boundaries, and refuse to settle for anything less than genuine connection. The power lies in knowing when to step back and let go. Remember, desperation isn't love. It's insecurity dressed up as effort. And when you know your value, you'll never feel the need to chase validation from someone who took you for granted.